Hello everyone, and let's talk about the age-old issue that is plaguing 3.0 right now, and let's talk about pug groups. The question I want to ask is, are pug groups dead in 3.0? Has 3.0 just killed off pug groups, particularly the level 60 content? Because I did an experiment today. I decided I'm going to queue for a level 60 flashpoint today. I'm going to queue as a healer on a Sunday afternoon. You'd think the server population was standard. I checked the population, standard. So I thought, as a healer, queuing on the Republic, on the Red Eclipse, I'll sit in the queue. I waited an hour. No queue pop. No queue for HM flashpoints. I got bored. I left the queue. I then decided, look, I'm going to check out the level 55 ones just to see if there's no one playing the game or whether it's just no one doing it. Popped right away. Instant pop. As soon as I clicked that queue button, boom, it popped right away. And guess what? Guess who was in the queue? 4 level 60s. 4 level 60s doing level 55 hard mode flashpoints because nobody wants to do level 60 content, it seems. The operations, forget them. You can forget about Temple of Sacrifice. You should just forget that in a pug altogether. Ravagers is doable 8-man. 16-man is not worth doing because the loot is bugged currently. Hopefully 3.1 will fix this. Hopefully this video goes out. This video should go out before 3.1. This is the Sunday before 3.1 launches. I hope to get it out. Probably get it out on Monday. 3.0 launches Tuesday the 10th. 3.1 should I say launches Tuesday the 10th. What is it bringing? 2 new HM flashpoints that no one can queue for it. Fabulous, brilliant. So again, if you're looking at this footage and thinking you're playing like an idiot, yeah, I'm deliberately doing that. I am deliberately. They are so bad, these HM flashpoints. They're a joke. An absolute joke right now. If we're watching the first boss, we're doing Hammer Station, I just let the tank get 10 stacks of the debuff just because it's something to heal. If I cleanse it, I'll have nothing to heal. You know, and I want something to heal. I'm a healer. I want to go play my Sage healer. You know, I want to get that ball bouncing around the group. You know, I want to get my bouncing ball of wandering mend goodness around the group. And, you know, I can't do that because it's so mind-numbingly easy. I just want something a little bit challenging, but nobody's queuing for it. It's the choice between standing on the fleet board or standing in your stronghold board, I should point out. Because I'm not going to do dailies. I've already done all my dailies. I got all my dailies done in an hour. Got the Oricon and Illum done in an hour. Wasn't too bad. I'm not going to Yavin again because I've already done the weekly. Just one day of Yavin dailies is enough for anyone to stomach, really, to be honest. Oricon is a pain in the arse, to be honest. But yeah, I spent so long in that group finder queue, and I was so bored. I'm never going to queue for ops. I did try Ravagers 16-man on Friday. I didn't live stream it because it was a guild run, and I don't live stream guild runs anymore. I've learned my lesson. Learned our lesson since the last time. I tried 16-man slideshow. That's what it is. It's a fucking slideshow. It is not. It's so annoying. People die because you're like, I got 2 frames a second. There's nothing I can do about it. We did do Ravagers 16-man story mode, but it was tough. Even turning all your graphic settings to minimum, still 2 frames a second. They really need to sort the performance out, especially doing Torg. Oh, doing Torg in 16-man. Oh, it's horrible. I was a gunslinger. I was a dirty fighting gunslinger for a couple of bosses. I respec for Torg and went sharpshooter because you don't want to kill those repair droids. You really don't. I was going to use the footage for this as the background to this video, but no, can't record it. 2 frames a second. Slideshow. An absolute slideshow. An absolute joke. If we're honest, we should have wiped on Coratini, but we did manage to revive when she went into the escape pod. So at least we did manage to revive everybody, because of course you're out of combat when she goes into the escape pod, so you could just res everybody if you just res one of the healers. I think about 12 of us out of the 16 were dead, to be honest with you. But it is so laggy and it is horrible. The frame rate is sitting in single digits for that operation. There is no way in hell I'm going to attempt Temple of Sacrifice. No way am I doing the Underlurker 16-man. I don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it. That cross, trying to organise 16 people for the Underlurker is going to be terrible. Not even going to do it in a guild run. I mean, no one in your guild wants to do that. We did try it, to be fair. We did try it one week and we wiped on Sword Squadron. I think we had too many melee DPS, but we were on the alts of alts, because we do clear it. We clear it in our progression group. We clear story mode every week now. Every week we're just sailing through it. We've got story mode on farm. Starting to progress towards HM. We're trying to get everybody the 192 6-piece set bonus before we move on to HM. So we're going to start raiding HM this week. We've already done Sparky and Malafar the Savage in HM. Haven't attempted Bulow yet. I haven't, at least. Haven't attempted Bulow. Did attempt Sword Squadron. That was fun. That was a fun fight in HM. Didn't get it cleared though, but it was fun just to have a look at it, just to see what the difference was. Basically, we were a bit under geared. None of us, well, a few of us had the 6-piece set bonus, but not all of us had it. So we want to get everybody 192 fully optimized and set bonus out before we move on to HM. So it'll be fun trying to have a go at HM. We have done Sparky. Sparky's not too bad. Malafar is fun if you're a scoundrel, because you can do insane amounts of healing on Malafar HM. It's just built for a scoundrel healer, if you ask me. A lot of AoE healing, to be honest. A lot of AoE healing. Again, pretty good, but we're here to talk about pugs. Yes, pugs, just dead. I mean, we're struggling, a lot of pug groups struggling to clear these 60 HMs. The big problem, I think, is the gap between sort of leveling 55 to 60, which is really easy, and you do the Blood Hunt Battle of Rishi. You can do them in solo mode, which are just a face roll. You can do them in tactical mode, which is just a face roll with other people. There's nothing really to prepare you. That's the thing. The huge gap between the level 55 HMs and the level 60 HMs, it's huge. The problem is we were over geared for these level 55 HMs at level 55. Now we're 5 levels higher and we're like, 192 gear now. And they're just face roll easy. A lot of people 192, some people 198 even, and they're face roll easy. And a lot of people struggling in these HMs. It's not really about gear, level 60 HMs. It's more about skill than gear, which I like, to be honest with you. It's all about positioning, and you have to play your class well. Everybody there has to be, on top of everything. You can't let anything lie. As a healer, you got to be on top of things like cleanses. You got to be on top of the healing. You got to keep people up. You got to be on top of your, your energy management, your resource management as well. As DPS, you got to be aware of things on the ground. That first boss on Assault on Typhon, the amount of DPS that get one-shotted and blame the healer. It's like, yeah, you got one-shotted. You stood in the orbital strike. It's not my fault you stood in the orbital strike. Use a defensive cooldown. Come on, DPS. I was doing one with a sorcerer. DPS kept dying with one hit. You think maybe use static barrier or something. Static barrier or your bubble. You start to get hit. Use your bubble. You got a bubble, for fuck's sake, as a sorcerer. You're one of the best survival classes in the game. The best non-tank survival class in the game. You've got some of the best defensive cooldowns. You got your bubble. If you can't get out of the thing, just pop your bubble. There you go. Pop your static barrier as well. You get enduring bastion afterward, which further increases your damage reduction. So, and your immunity from pushbacks. I don't know why a sorcerer is struggling on that thing, to be honest. You can't blame the healer because you're getting one-shotted. What can we do about that as a healer, to be honest? So again, it is just a wipe fest right now. A lot of people complain about the last boss on Manan. I don't think it's difficult. They say it's difficult for healers. I've healed it as all 3 healers, and I don't think it's difficult, to be honest with you. I've healed it Scoundrel, Sage, and Merc. I haven't got a commando yet. At 60, I feel it as the Merc. It's actually pretty fun. It was good. It's best on the Scoundrel, I think. A lot of people complain about the Scoundrel, say it's been nerfed. Still, it's my favorite healer. The Merc healer is just boring. It's just like, oh, the tank's gonna die. Press 2 buttons. Tank's not gonna die. There you go. It's really boring these days with its instant cast. It's just so boring, to be honest. Oh, I don't like it. The Sage is okay. Sage is kind of in the middle. Sage is pretty cool, actually. It's cool getting that Wandering Mend off. That bouncing ball. That bouncing ball of healing goodness is going off. But yeah, I haven't attempted it as a tank. I do have a tank at 60. I am probably going to attempt it as a tank. A lot of people say it's terrible as a tank, these HM flashpoints. I haven't attempted it as DPS. If it takes an hour to queue as a healer, there is no way I'm going to queue as a DPS. No way. Haven't attempted them as DPS. Can't comment on them as a DPS. But I've cleared... What have I cleared as DPS? I've cleared Temple of Sacrifice and Ravagers as DPS. I've cleared them as a healer as well. But again, I find the ops are a little bit easier. But I think the problem is that what prepares us for these level 60 HMs? And the answer is nothing. If you look at Vanilla Swotor, when we hit 50, we had normal mode flashpoints. You know, we had Battle of Ilum, False Emperor, Lost Island, Kaon Under Siege. They were level 50. I think they were like 48 to 50, but they were mostly for level 50s. Level 50 normal mode flashpoints, and they were a good preparation for the HMs. There was, of course, HM versions of False Emperor, Battle of Ilum, etc. But they were very good preparation for you. You know, they were good kind of preparation. What have you got at 60 to prepare you for HM flashpoints? The tacticals are a joke. The 55 HMs are a joke. If you're watching this video, it's a complete joke. I'll show you to the end where I stand in front of the boss. Deliberately stand in front of the boss just for something to heal. And I can heal through it as a sage. I've got 192, non-set bonus gear. Well, it's a bit of a mismatch of 192. With the Shadow 2-piece set bonus, I should point out as well. Yeah, I know, I shared gear between the two of them, right? I don't raid on my Sage healer, so don't criticize me for not having a set bonus. I raid as a Shadow DPS and a Gunslinger DPS and the Scoundrel healer. Don't raid on the Sage. Sometimes raid as a Sage DPS, but I don't have the set bonus yet, so... You can't pug, that's the problem. Don't have a set bonus, can't pug. Can't do these in pugs, to be honest with you. I did try Ravagers. There is a video up of me trying Ravagers, and so many people died in those blue circles. So many people on Bulow dying in those blue circles, and it's so bad I'm never ever going to attempt Temple of Sacrifice. I mean, the first boss is easy. Malafar the Savage is pretty easy. Sword Squadron is too difficult for pugs, I think. It's so difficult. So much coordination, like, if you're seeing immune above the boss, switch bosses. It's not as if it's difficult. I mean, we've got it on farm right now as a guild. We never wipe on that boss anymore. We are wiping on it a little bit at the start. But again, we got better gear and we got better understanding. We know when things are coming. You see a lot of people in pug groups, you see them hitting, I think it's the Republic unit. I can't remember what's Unit 1 and Unit 2, but it goes immune. And do you see? Can't you see immune above it? Stop hitting it, switch to the other one. And the DPS has to be kind of, you have to kill them both at the same time, which is very difficult. And there's also red circles on the ground that you have to avoid. There's also unavoidable AoE damage as well. And of course there's the not so huge grenade, which of course your melee DPS just want to stand and hit the boss while they have not so huge grenade. Great, you're ruining the DPS for every other melee DPS there. Basically, move away from the group. So annoying, that not so huge grenade. When you see, like, you'll see like a Guardian or a Vanguard get it, and just stand there, just DPSing. You know, there's a big circle around you. You know, can't be cleansed. You know, move away from the group. You'll see, like, all the other, like, you'll have 2 or 3 melee DPS, you know, just see running away from this, and it honestly, that's just selfish, to be honest with you. I'd kick someone if I was running that group for doing that. Because, yeah, your DPS is getting improved, but you're ruining the rage DPS for all the melee classes in the game. That's just poor, to be honest with you. Absolutely poor. As a player, I would kick people for that. It's got a big circle around you. What do you think is going to happen? Nobody can cleanse it. Even if you don't know the tactics, it's like a giant circle and it says grenade. It says not so huge grenade in big bold writing in the plate and your name. And you've got a big circle under you. Just move away from the group. Kite it away. Pop a defensive cooldown. The healer will probably put something on you. I always put 2 stacks of slow release med pack on whoever gets it. Or if I'm a merc, I'll put Colto Shell, forgetting what it's called, because I rarely play the merc these days. Or again, if I'm a sage, I'm going to put force armor on you. So, you know, it's like, we'll help you out with mitigation. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal in story modes, to be honest, anymore. We know what's happening as a healer. I know it's gonna happen, and I know how to deal with it easily. we just deal with it and move on. But no, people just stand there. People just stand there in a pug group, stand in those red circles. And, where's my heals? Like, you're standing in a red circle. Don't stand in a red circle. You don't need healing if you don't stand in a red circle. You'll need a hell of a lot less healing because those red circles hurt. Bear in mind, those circles hurt like hell. So anyway, that's my pug rant anyway. But are pugs dead? Is anyone else on any other server finding any difficulty getting groups in this game? Because I am just struggling right now, and it makes me want to play the game a lot less. That's the problem. The whole point of an MMO for me is being able to log in any time of the day, any day of the week, and being able to find a group of people. You know, this is why you play an MMO. This is why we're not playing something like a co-op shooter like Left 4 Dead or something like that. Choosing to play an MMO because, you know, you want to... People say, oh, well, you just play with your guild, but if I log in at 2 in the morning, feel like a game of SWTOR, and, you know, I expect to at least be able to find someone to do some content with. If I log in, you know, and everybody's offline or everybody's doing something else, then, you know, I expect, you know, 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Monday, you know, none of your guild are online. In my day off, you know, I expect to log in and, you know, find some group for something. And nobody's doing the old ops either. Nobody's doing the level 55s. A, because no one wants to pug Dread Fortress and Dread Palace. HM. No way. Not doing that. Not doing Corruptor 0. Never trying that. Not want to do... It'll be fine until Corruptor 0. That'll be the one. Although people still struggle on Draxus with the interrupts. I've done story mode, and nobody wants to do story mode because it doesn't reward ultimate comms. So they took out the ultimate comms, which, you know, I supported at the time, but then nobody wants to do it. That's the problem. Nobody then wants to do Dread Fortress and Dread Palace story mode. So I've got a bunch of... Nobody wants to do Dread Palace either. I've got a bunch of alts that have the Dread Palace one-time quest. A bunch of Republic alts, I should say. Because we're playing Republic this expansion. In case anyone hadn't noticed by the videos, they're all Republic. Most of them are anyway. But yeah, that was one of the big things. It's like, yeah, we're gonna take the ultimate comms out. Oh, no one wants to do them now. So now no one wants to do them. No one wants to pug them in HM. No one wants to pug Scum and Villainy or TFB. I think Scum and Villainy is pretty easy in HM, to be honest with you. Scum and Villainy not so bad. Terror from Beyond, Operator 9 is a pain because you got to get your orbs, and you got the deletion protocol thing that you've got to do on Operator 9, so that can be a bit tricky for pugs. I mean, you got to get the right coloured orb, and then you got to... I don't know if... Can you still do it with failing the thing? Do you still fail deliberately on purple? It's been a while since I've raided TFBHM, to be honest with you. I don't know if you can still fail the purple phase. We used to do that. Fail the purple phase, deal with the ads, you know, then go back, DPS the cores. I don't know, but I'm never going to try that in a pug, to be honest. It's like, it's not like EV, which was face roll easy. Even back in vanilla, it was face roll easy eventually. You know, EV was so easy. Even then, some people still didn't get it on SOA and died. But yeah, EV is easy as well. The 50 flashpoints you can solo, so I guess, you know, I just do my Yavin weekly, I do my Oricon weekly, I get elite comms, I don't really do the tactical flashpoint weekly because they're just boring. The only good thing about this is you can still get your HM flashpoint weekly for doing the level 55 ones. Again, it's very boring, it's really boring, but you're still going to get elite comms, you're still going to get your ultimate comms for that. It's one of those things, it's like a chore now, it's not fun. I want a challenge, you know, I want to be challenged as a healer. I want something, I want to cleanse something, I want to pay attention to something, I want a dot that I can, you know, manage. I want something to do as a healer. I just don't want to sit there and just be like, oh, tank's going down, one button, oh, he's back up again. Oh well, DPS. I might as well be a DPS. I don't want to be a DPS because the queue times are too long. So, you know, I want something to heal at least, you know. So I think if we had normal mode Blood Hunt and normal mode Battle of Rishi as your entry level 60 flashpoints that maybe gave you the 184 gear, and then you had your HM flashpoints, you know, get your gear from them and prepare you for the HM ones. I think that would be a better approach, because that's the approach that it worked in vanilla. Nobody ever wiped except Lost Island, which was in its own tier. Nobody really ever wiped on flashpoints in vanilla SWTOR. Nobody did. 2.0 was a step. Some people, sometimes you would wipe because they were a bit harder. 3.0, nobody's even doing them right now. I waited for an hour in the queue. There you go. So thank you for joining me for this video, and we'll see you again soon. Goodbye.
Your weakness is in your blood. Your weakness is in your blood. Very well. Then we die together!
Systems overloaded. Primary workers inoperable. Recommend immediate evacuation.